The Fission Trail is here. I have two of them in hand. One of them is a 173 and one of them is a 170. It's arguably going to be the farthest flying 10 speed in the world. We have some neutron trails to compare it to. I'm just going to play 18 holes straight up here at Adams Hollow and see if I can't shoot 7 down or better. We have some decently crazy wind out here today. Hopefully we play well. We'll throw 2 off the top and one forehand, one backhand. And I'll show you the neutrons on a separate hole. Oh, a little pop-up even in that wind. And it just did not even get close to right enough. So it looks like we're throwing the turnover. If it sits, it's good. All right. The trail was probably the most popular disc last year. It has to be one of MVP's most, I was gonna say profitable, which is true, but popular releases ever. It's in the James Conrad line, and they dropped it as a disc that was 10, 5, -1, 1. And it was one of the most true to those numbers that I'd ever thrown. I actually reviewed the original trail out here with my buddy Caleb, and almost eagled one of the holes that I still have never eagled, but the trail has gotten me as close, if not closer, than all the drivers that I've ever thrown on that hole. Hopefully the Fission Trail can get us even closer than the Neutron one did. If you're watching this video, you likely know about the trail, and are just wanting to see the Fission Trail get thrown a lot, so we'll do that for sure. Hopefully I can start out with a decent putt. Wow, the second one was a little shorter, so it looks like we're just gonna go with the true shot. The first shot out the car, over everything. I don't think MVP changed the numbers on the Fission Trail compared to the Neutron, and I know they've done that on a couple discs. I'll check that to make sure it's true. Oh wow, this went really far actually, holy cow. Oh, dang it. New putters, first time out. Almost canned a big one. Also new shoes, a Vessi shoe that just released called the Pacific, I think. You can snag these with my code. I'll talk about them in future ads with Vessi, of course. I'm testing them out to see if I like them for disc golf. Can't start out with a bogey. Yes, we can actually. Incorrect, you can start out with a bogey. My Banana Butt PA3s are out. Don't look at what happened on the first hole to snag them. You can also snag these at infinitedisc.com. They always have the best prices. I'll leave the trails, the Banana Butt PA3s, and Vessi link down below through my link. That should be all the talk of selling for today's video. Now we have a headwind and a 517-foot par 4. I'm driving to Des Moines tomorrow, likely today as you're watching this video. So I had to get out here and make it because this freaking trail showed up in my house and I have to make a video. Did not think it'd be this windy though, but that'll be good because we'll get to see how it reacts in a ton of different winds. We will see how they fly different to these neutrons, which is interesting. I mentioned this in my Banana Froth unboxing of like all the reviews I'm going to be doing here soon. But the trail, I think, was one of the most inconsistent molds from MVP in the same plastic over the recent bit of time. I have thrown neutron trails that were very overstable, or for a trail, and neutron trails that were crazy flippy. And I'm guessing that's because they just had to produce so many of them relatively quickly. These feel the exact same to me. They're slightly different weights, but I imagine they're gonna fly pretty much identically. And my guess is that they have a decent bit more dome than any neutron trail that I've ever seen before. And maybe it's just like a more gradual shoulder, but I think they'll be just about as straight, if not a touch more understable than the regular neutron trails. We'll throw this 170 in the wind. I don't think eagle's in the cards. I don't think my hip flexors are going to be happy with me today since I didn't warm up and I have to head right back home and finish packing. But that's okay. Who needs hip flexors when you're 1 over par through 1? That's going to the practice basket. Did that just like helicopter down? What? That didn't go anywhere. Now it looked like it was going far, but I don't think it did. Okay, here's this blue neutron one, which I think they're similar, these two, but this one might be more understable. Okay, the neutron might actually, at least the ones I have, might be flippier than these Fission ones. Here's the other neutron. That one seems pretty similar. We'll try this other Fission. This is interesting. Okay, the Fissions do seem to have a touch more glide. They're not like diving on the anhyzer when they get there, which makes sense since they do have a bit more dome. This wind is making that no joke though. We probably got 15 to 25 mile an hour gusts just blowing in my face right there. Also, subscribe. on the road to 50,000. We were very close. Made a big push when I initially posted my, hey, let's get to 50K by the end of June video. Then it petered off the last couple vids. So let's see if we can hit 50,000. 60K definitely seems out of reach, but if we get there, you guys can choose my bag for the rest of the season. Honestly, if it was any other day, I don't think I would be out here making this. I would go home because of this wind. Not really a choice today with going to Des Moines and having a lot of sweet stuff lined up. Threw this one first, and they landed pretty similarly. I felt like I threw them all relatively the same. I would try a forehand here. Oh, this wind is so scary. Eesh. Should have thrown a forehand, I guess. The reason I said 7 down too is because if I can't shoot 7 down, I'll put one of these in the giveaway. My normal round here on U-Disc is 7 under par, and that includes a lot of reviews. I typically feel like with my own bag, I'm shooting closer to double digits. Never really played in this one though. So we'll see what happens. Not a promising start. This is a hole that you definitely want to get. I'll compare the neutrons to the fissions on this next hole, which will be a forehand with a tail right to left. So it'll actually show us a lot about how straight these guys are. And then I'll wait for holes where it kind of shows us something different with the discs. These might be similar stability to the regular neutron trails. I don't know. All I know is these are going to be insanely popular. I feel like my video is a drop in the bucket of helping people's buying choices or not. I think most people who like buying lots of discs are going to have at least one of these in their shopping cart today. Or yesterday, because I think they came out yesterday. 295 with a tail right to left. Wind, maybe I'm shaded, but it feels nice right now. The dome on these is really kind of created by having this big old shoulder, and it makes forehanding them not crazy comfortable for me, except for the fact that they're a 10 speed. If they were any faster, like I've tried to forehand some dimensions that have this kind of dome on them too when I'm playing with the Eagle, and I have a much harder time because of how big they get. The shoulder is not as big of a factor because it's a slower disc, so the rim width-wise isn't as big. These are baby hand problems, but maybe they affect some of you guys too. Okay, that was a little surprising. I thought it would pop up a little more. Maybe I can try a big German flat. Maybe a touch too much wobble, but that wasn't bad. I'm gonna have a uphill putt from the actual shot. These trails feel better to forehand, I'll say. The neutron, I don't know what it is. Probably the less dome or less shoulder, but. Okay, that one, oh, I think they are flippier because I tried to throw that one like I threw the first one. Park though. Try to throw it like the second one. Oh, I made it. No fade. Okay. I think that teal one is a touch more overstable than the blue because even though I don't think I got it quite as flat as I did the second fission trail that I threw, it was pretty close and it didn't turn like that one did. So I would say that teal one is more overstable than the two fissions, and the blue one is about the same as the fission trails. So you have a flippy trail, fission will probably be there for you. I've seen people who have much beefier trails than those two though. So next hole will be a fun backhand, 430 feet with a touch of tailwind. Like that second forehand with the fission trail, I didn't realize, but it went like 340 pretty easy. No way. I got lucky with the first fission trail. It's close. Unfortunately, close doesn't guarantee a putt. No! Okay, I'm gonna have to go on a little shred fest here. 1 over through 3 holes. I will not lose faith until I have 7 holes left, and I'm still 1 over. But I won't lie, this does make it much harder. I think we're gonna stick with this green one. Tail, slight left to right, slight hyzer. I do think on a backhand, I throw my backhand 8 to 10 miles an hour faster than my forehand. This will pop up almost for sure. So good. Oh, that disc is sick. That's parked. It didn't flip up and turn like I thought it could have. 425 feet is what this whole ranges to. We got the park job with the green. Now it's time to get the park job with the orange. I think even though these are a couple grams different, and the orange does feel like it'll be, no, they feel the same actually. I think I just had them in my hand differently. This one we have a big right to left. So I'm gonna throw in a lot of hyzer, but I have to aim pretty far right, which turns some of the right to left into headwind. So maybe even a touch more hyzer than you think. I'm gonna take my full 30 seconds here. Got the flat. Oh, that is such a glidey disc. Is that way long? That might be like pretty long. Oh, let's go. My depth perception's awful. Now we get to see what this bad boy does on a little shorty. First one we'll play for real, and then maybe a couple ace runs, maybe even including the banana booty. Hole 6, 243, and honestly, this hole looks very similar to the upshot that I shanked on hole 2. Little head, little right to left. It's only 240, and with how well this stood up on a forehand, I might try the forehand at it. Just try to keep it smooth. Someone told me in my comments that I should trust my forehand more in my Beaver Ranch video from a couple days ago. I think they're right. I gotta trust my forehand more. Sometimes you guys gotta tell me stuff and I'll listen, but only sometimes. Stood up a little, went a little long, but that's pretty much how I wanted to throw that. It just didn't turn out well, so thank you to whoever said that, because that was a pretty forehand. What about that one? Come on. See, now you guys are making me think I'm Big German. That's going to be an issue at the Boy next week. This is the good news about this tall grass. Big headwind. Oh my gosh. Whew. I really liked how that green one forehanded. I'm not going to beat myself up too much over missing that putt. When it gets super windy out, I feel like I just got to trust in my percentages. Go down 15%, but I still make some putts. Because if I'm expecting to make all the putts I normally make when it's not windy out, that's a recipe for a mental nutcase even more than I already normally am. 330 feet, I believe, 323 to the basket right there. A little right to left. That might still be a little long because those things like to go forever. Holy. I might just keep trying to forehand one of these in practice. This buttery's hot. That's so cool. I think the green one is a touch more overstable though, the more I've thrown it. Forehand might be the play on this one. I didn't throw this thing that far. Jeez. Not that much. Not that much either. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 2 holes left on the front 9. I think getting at least one of them will make the 7 down feel better. The good news for me is that 2 of the holes on the back are sub 570 par 4s, and these like to go far. And the wind isn't necessarily, actually the wind's actually hurting on both those holes right now. So we gotta hope it switches in the next 45 minutes. But if I play them safe, they should both be likely birdies with a possible eagle on one of them. So getting one more of these next 2, which are both pretty tricky with how much wind there is on this spine that we're about to be on, would make life feel a lot easier on the back 9. 302, headwind it feels like. Well, it is. With a little bit of right to left. Wow, this is like the worst wind for the back 9. That being said, I think a touch of forehand will be best. There's OB left though, so if I get it on turn and the wind takes it, I'm screwed. Skip. Oh, gross. I'll try a second forehand. This is gonna be such a hard upshot. Oh, just a little more air. It's not great, but it's really not bad. Actually, from this position, that's pretty great. My rule for these type of reviews and challenges is typically if I feel like I normally putt it, I can putt it. This is not jump putt range for me though. Skip. Sit. That's as good as I can ask for right there. A little wrist flick. These are pretty nice on the forehand. Way better than I thought they would be. I'm very impressed, honestly. After throwing that orange trail over there, I'm definitely a little sad that I didn't throw that one. I also think it makes me think that they're more similar in stability than I thought. Probably that 2% difference. Maybe that's not even a real thing, but feel like them being different weights, it makes them have to fly differently. But they're really not that different. All right, still one down. Would love to get this one 290. Basically same shot, but the wind is being blocked a little more. So we're gonna trust the orangey. Dude, that's like the easiest 300-foot forehand I've ever thrown in my life. I'm gonna try to be saucy with this one. That's the easiest 340-foot forehand ever. What the heck? Those have to be easier to forehand than these Neutron ones. Maybe I'm just getting better at forehand. Not the right wind. You know it's a windy course when the sailor's flag blows away. Let's go! Oh, that had so much happening to it. Hey! Back 9 and back into the headwind. We've got a head left to right. You can see the flag through there, 385. Pretty good distance for a disc like this, especially with how straight it's been. As long as I don't put it up too much hyzer where it never flips to flat. This might be the right, I mean, this might be the perfect disc for this hole. Oh, I pulled it over like a ding dong. No way. That's 40 feet. I'm about to birdie this hole. I stood up on that one. I keep doing that. What am I doing? There we go. Yeah, that's exactly the perfect shape. That's gonna be parked. Yeah, if you've been hearing me say I've been standing up on it in the last couple of videos, it's kind of what happens when I like crunch into this hip and just like stay up on it instead of using it to rotate. I'll sometimes kind of just get lazy and everything comes up early instead of staying through and pushing it backwards. It just kind of comes up. Up can be fine. Not kind of how my form works though. Well, I am a little farther than I thought. The orange one is 15 feet, 20 feet away, so it's not when you throw it like I did the first time. A little left to right, a little jumper. Oh my. Get understandable. Or compensate. Nope, just throw the exact. I'm very consistent. Hole 11. This one's just a ripping headwind, 357. Jeez. Yes. Now get left. No. Ah. 7's gonna be hard. Maybe it's a forehand with the trail. Get stable. That was really close to really good. But it was not good, so. I guess I threw it here because I knew I could make the circle 3 putt, and I'm closer to the next tee pad, so kind of a big brain move if you think about it. Well, see you in a second. All right, 7 holes to play. I need to shoot 5 under par. If I count the 2 par 4s as a given, which is a dangerous thing to do, then I need 3 of 5, which sounds better than 5 of 7. But I think if I just get the next 5 in a row, then I don't have to worry about anything. And I have 2 holes to have some fun. Forehand, I think, definitely plays because we got a little tailwind, but that sounds fun. And what I need is results. And I shanked it? Really? That's the results to you? Just shanking it? I said I have to birdie this, so it looks like we're gonna make a long putt. That looks like results to me. If you would have just done that. Not bad for the forehand. I'm gonna be traveling a bit to find where I threw that back in though. That's not as bad as I thought it was. Let's go. I think I keep thinking this disc is farther than it is. Oh, I keep putting those really good, but just a little left. Oh, maybe we're not getting these 5 in a row. Maybe I gotta shut up about score and just throw some frisbees. Left, 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 left. Kinda. Honestly, probably a good thing it hit that tree. It would have been soaring. Oh, so much right to left wind. You should use it instead of complaining, you ding dong. Since getting onto this back nine, I've thrown a better shot with my second than I have my first every single time. I'm no longer making that an option. I'm throwing the green one again on this hole, and then we're alternating back and forth. One shot here on out, and 5 down on these last 5. Here I come. Stay above it. Skip. Not terrible. Not good though. Have you guys chill by the next tee pad while I go drain this putt. I get back here and my camera literally died at that scene that you just saw. A second before, I threw the perfect putt and it dropped in the tailwind because it wasn't the perfect putt and I missed it. So I need an ace or an eagle to get to my 7. Either way, we're having a blast. And I think this is the one that's going to go in the 50K subscriber giveaway just because orange is a little easier to find than green. Both of these are bad colors to find at some point in the year. But we have about 350, 347 here, and a right to left, and some people in the fairway. Skip. Oh, the glide in these are so enormous because when I released that, I was like, shoot, I landed it in short of the hillside, and it skipped long of the hill to 25. It's kind of perched up here, though. That's kind of cool. Such dry grass. What a catch. We take that. All right, still technically possible. A little way too low. Tried a little too hard on that one. The good news about that line is even if you shank it, as long as you get around that first tree, you have a left side up and down, which is a pitch forehand from about 230. And these discs actually like that shot. Throw a good up shot, tap in a birdie, throw a good drive on 17, and then hopefully throw way better than I just did there. For eagle on 18, I think I just need to slow down. I'm trying to run up too fast. Instead of letting my arm be fast, I'm making my legs faster than my arm. That's not how you throw hard. Nice and easy. This wind actually might not be terrible for the last hole. A little too headwindy, but pretty solid. Skip in. 307 into a head of the wind. Orangey boy. Oh, no. Get through. Remember when I was talking about standing up on it? Oh, no. I'm still going to eagle it, just for you, though. Look, I promise. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. Why couldn't I have birdied 17? I will say, these definitely feel more like finesse drivers, not even necessarily control drivers. I think control driver, at least for how I'm throwing them, control drivers to me feel like something that I can always trust to get a little overstable, but I can really work on a lot of angles, but it's gonna like finish how I think. These ones, I think they're a little more finesse drivers where they'll give you a lot of extra glide if you get the angles on them right. These fissions are definitely more forgiving than the neutrons. I threw those off the tee pad, shanked them a little bit more, but I think that these, in my opinion, are a touch better than the neutrons. At least I like them more. I wouldn't say that they're better. I haven't tried any other trails besides neutrons and these bad boys. So, but let's see if I can finish with the eagle. That'd be pretty clutch. Especially impressed because this wind, as you can see, is mostly head with a little right to left. And it went this far in that. And it landed on this hillside probably at about 470, 480 feet in a slight headwind, which is very impressive for a 10-speed. Let's go. Twice it's luck. Thrice it's luck. It's luck. 6 down, couldn't get the 7 because I choked the bed on way too many holes. But it's a beautiful night out. Hopefully you guys get out and play some disc golf wherever you are, whether it's Glow or you wait till tomorrow. But appreciate you watching my channel, I will see you back here tomorrow, and tomorrow will likely be a practice round for the Discmania Challenge with somebody. I haven't booked the person yet, but I've been reaching out. Gannon said no. He said, I don't like you, little banana boding ding boy. It might have been a different text than that, but it was probably the one that I said. See you soon. Adding it to the giveaway.